Growing up, I was a skinny guy. I was the kind of guy that had to run around in the shower to get wet. And I have to admit, I was very conscious of the fact that I was that skinny. Guys, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how to use clothing so that you can appear more muscular. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, Antonio, I should tell these guys to go to the gym, eat a lot of protein, pack on the muscle, and that is going to solve their problem. And I agree that that is a path. However, some people just simply the way they're born, maybe what they decide to put into their bodies, maybe their lifestyle is going to dictate how their body naturally looks. But there are times when skinny guys don't want to come off as skinny. They want to come off as lean and mean. They want to come off as a bit more muscular. That's what this video is for. And if you've got a bit of a stomach, if you've got maybe skinny arms, you're tall and thin, if you've just got an overall maybe just thin build, not necessarily skinny, you're going to find a lot of useful information in this video. Tip number 1 to look more muscular in clothing is to gravitate towards long sleeve shirts. So I'm talking dress shirts, talking long sleeve button downs, we're talking long sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve polos. Anytime you can go with something that in a sense is going to match the color of your arms with the color of your torso, that is going to look better than you fully exposing and having a contrast of your arm with your torso. Why? It's just going to make your arms look skinnier. And there's a lot of options as well with these long sleeve shirts. So collars. You want to gravitate towards something that has a collar. The reason being is it's going to build up your thin neck. You want to go with something that has double pockets on it, like this shirt right here. It's going to help build up your chest. If you can find some of those casual button downs with epaulets here on the shoulder, it's going to build up your shoulders. All of these things are going to be found with long sleeve shirts. I know many of you guys are saying, Antonio, I live in a hot area. How in the world am I going to pull this off? Well, roll your sleeves. I've got an entire video on awesome ways to roll your shirt sleeves, but also when you start to roll your shirt sleeves, the cool part about this versus, and I know some of you guys are saying, well, Antonio, didn't you say don't have the contrast? Well, the cool part is you go for a shirt sleeve roll that in a sense does not go all the way up the arm. So something that stops here at the forearm, and this is not the best roll, but I think you guys can see the point. See that right there? It does not go above the elbow. And by doing that, I make the actual upper arm look even a bit bigger. And this is going to be your best look when you actually decide to roll your sleeves. Tip number 2, build up the shoulders, build up the chest. I've already talked about it with shirts. Go for the double-breasted pocket, maybe go for the epaulets here on the shoulders of the shirt. But one of the things I think most men could benefit from is starting to wear a sports jacket, a suit jacket, a blazer jacket, a trucker jacket, a corduroy jacket, some type of heavier weight material jacket that in a sense is going to immediately build up your shoulders. Why is it going to do that? It's going to give your shoulders an end point. Also, if it's cut to fit you well and when you close it, it's actually going to slim up your waist a bit and therefore accentuate the chest, build up the shoulders, make you look more muscular. Tip number 3 to look more muscular with clothing is learn to layer, gentlemen. So let's start with the undershirt. Rib tee, tanning, they make amazing undershirts, highly recommend them. But once you've got a great fitting undershirt, throw a shirt on top of it like I've talked about in point number 1. So you've got your long sleeve tees, your long sleeve polo, maybe your casual button down. Now, since you're going to be layering, you want to go with something that's a little bit more sleek. So maybe you'll skip the double pocket. You definitely will skip the epaulets because at this point, we're going to add the 3rd layer in your sweaters. So there's a wide range of sweaters out there, but what makes a great layering sweater is one that's made from a lightweight cashmere or wool or cotton or linen. The fit of your clothing needs to be right on when you're a thinner guy, especially as you start to layer. What you want to avoid is loose fitting clothing. Loose fitting clothing is not going to make you look bigger. It's going to make it look like you're wearing your older brother's clothing and it's going to make you look even skinnier. So at this point, we've got the 3rd layer on. The cool part about going with those lightweight cashmeres, lightweight sweaters is that you can probably fit your jacket over this. By now you've got 4 layers. The cool part is, if you get hot, you can take it off. But by having these layers and being able to see some of the layers underneath, the shirt collar, the sweater, it's going to give the appearance of depth. And that appearance of depth is going to make you look a lot more muscular. Tip number 4 to look more muscular with clothing, gentlemen, is to use heavier weight fabrics. So there's a wide range out there, starting with denim. You want to go with heavier weight denim on your trousers, perhaps on that jacket. Go with something that has a bit of body to it already. Now maybe you want to look at, when you're putting on a jacket, look at tweeds, look at flannels when you're looking at trousers. These are going to have they're going to have a napped surface. So it's almost like a three-dimensional surface that looks really fuzzy when you get up close. You almost want to touch it, but those give, again, a bit of depth and feel overall to the outfit. Then you also want to look at, let's say, corduroys. Adding a bit of texture, you're adding a bit of depth to your legs. And if you're a taller, thin guy, this is going to be great. You're a shorter, thin guy, this is going to be awesome, because all of a sudden you're going to give just a bit more bulk to your legs. You can also wear, there are corduroy jackets out there. If you're going to be looking at shirts, maybe look for something that has a small textured pattern to it, or maybe that has a small overall pattern with, again, a flannel or a napped weave. All of this is going to, all of these type of fabrics, they're just going to make you look a bit bulkier, and that's what we're shooting for. Tip number 5 for looking more muscular with clothing is to learn your lines. Okay, so if you've got a big midsection, you know you want to avoid the horizontal lines. But if you're a skinny guy, you can take advantage of the fact that horizontal lines will basically make you look wider. Now, you want to make sure that you apply this in key areas. It isn't going to have much of an effect here in the midsection, so wearing a contrasting belt isn't probably going to do too much for you. But actually having a horizontal line up here in the chest or in the shoulder area, or having some lines or something that draws attention up here, is going to be great. So there's a few key things you want to look at. Sweaters, you maybe want to find something that has a line going across the chest. I have a sweater, it has like a Celtic knot going in and across the chest and the arm area. This thing really bulks me up and makes me look a lot bigger. Now, certain sweaters actually have some shoulder padding. You can also see this occasionally on some types of jackets and the designs out there. I have a leather jacket by J.L. Roca, great jacket, by the way, and that one actually has some like a shoulder patch right up on here. It's got some contrast stitching. All of that, those lines going horizontal across, they're going to build up this part of the body. And even though physically it's not any wider, it looks wider, and that's what we're shooting for. Now, the final thing with lines is, guys, remember the V. So you want to lean towards V-neck sweaters, V-neck shirts. This all right here is going to build the V here. When you wear a jacket, a sports jacket, a 2-button jacket right in here, think of that V. This V is a natural masculine look on a man. Basically, it sends the signal that your shoulders are wider than your hips. Those are the kind of things that you want to be able to send with clothing, guys, to look more muscular. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, but this video is just information. I want you guys to go out there and take action. So go check out my free Facebook group. In this Facebook group, we've got guys posting their stories, sharing their achievements, talking about what they're doing, talking about action that they're taking. Another thing that I want you to go check out are my premium courses. The reason I sell these courses isn't because, a lot of the information you can piece together. You could spend probably, 100 hours or so, probably piece together a lot of this information from across the web. But I put these premium courses out there because I put all this together, and I want people to have a little bit of skin in the game. And I find that when they spend a little bit of money, they actually take action on the lessons that we spoon feed them. And we give them exactly what they need in the order that they need it. I want you to go out there and actually become the man you know yourself to be. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.